Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 8th of January, 2020, and this is a video I put up on the 4th of January, 2020, and I was explaining how the elites were putting the Hegelian dialectic in play. They were talking about Israel and how Netanyahu was in danger and so forth and so on, and we knew that war was coming. Well, it didn't take very long because, like we talked about last night in the live stream, they're not messing around anymore. They know that they can pretty much do whatever they want, and most people are not paying attention at all. And that seems to be the case. But here's some really strange things that just popped up, and I can't shake this. This is in my head, so I'm going to put it out there, and hopefully you guys can leave it in the comment section below. Something's going on a larger scale, and I think this is part of it. So check this out. This has been on the cover of the Drudge Report for several days. It's showing it as the 8th of January, but this has been up there for 2 days. I've saved this. This is the eclipse. You know, a photographer waited in just the right place to snap a rare spectacle as the sun was partially blocked by the moon at dawn. And they're calling it devil horns rising out of the sea. Red devil horns, the beast rising from the sea. And this is in the Persian Gulf. The sunrise in Qatar. I mean, are you kidding me? Look how insane this all is right here. This is totally crazy, and they've kept it up for several days. And they simply keep bumping the date because, like I said, I've had this saved for 2 days. That's crazy. The beast from the sea rising in the Middle East. And then we all know what happened yesterday because we did the live stream at the same time it was occurring. Iran allegedly launched missiles at U.S. forces in Iraq, blah, blah, blah. You know, everybody remembers this. We've all been waiting for this.
Iraq, not Iran. I knew why, because I'd been through the Pentagon right after 9/11. About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me, and one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs," meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran." I said, "Is it classified?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, don't show it to me." And I saw him a year or so ago, and I said, "You remember that?" He said, "Sir, I didn't show you that memo. I didn't show it to you."
Well, apparently the 5 years took longer than they expected. But that's what happens when you send the military into Iraq and you don't even give them the right equipment that they need, etc., and it turns into a 13-year debacle. But here it is. Iran is being blamed for shooting missiles into bases in Iraq at United States military. That is a precursor for war. So here it comes. Here it comes. And when they put things like this out there, this is talking to each other, and this is actually showing the agenda, basically. This is insane. This should be absolutely nothing, but for whatever reason, they're leaving it on for people to see. The dawn of evil. And then, you know, we've got that. We've got General Wesley Clark's list. And then this just happened, which I find really, really strange. 167 passengers. Ukraine International Airline 752, which is 77, and it crashed in Iran. You know, like, what are the odds in a million years that this would occur? A plane crashes into Iran. So things are getting absolutely, completely, totally crazy. Now, this answered a question that I had actually posed to myself. About a month or so ago, for whatever reason, I started making survival videos again. Now, if you followed my channel for any length of time, that's how I started the channel. I was making survival videos. I've been doing it since day one. Chemtrails, bug-out bags, survival videos. Well, I've always done the survival thing because I spend most of my time in really remote places. You see what I'm saying? But it's strange how all this is coming around, and it's strange how Father above puts everything in your lap at the right time. Whether you see it or not is up to you. But leaving this headline, The Dawn of Evil, yeah, they're telling you something. 2020 is bigger and worse than we were probably going to ever imagine. Have no fear, but be aware. That's all there is to it. That's absolutely all there is to it. If you are grounded in the Word of God, or you're seeking Yahuwah, you're good. This life isn't all there is. That's just my opinion. At any rate, Richie from Boston, and I am out.